As the district ranger, what keeps me up at night is really thinking about the wildfire potential, the wildfire hazard of our Missoula area and the risks to our communities and to our first responders. Wildfire Adapted Missoula is really an initiative that allows us to think more holistically about reducing risk for our community and for working with partners and being cross-boundary and doing this kind of work and thoughtful planning at a really meaningful scale for our local national forest areas.
The goal of the project is to reduce the fuels around the Valley of Missoula, particularly in those areas where we have houses that are interspersed within the forest, what we call the wildland-urban interface. So we are working with all partners, including state, federal, local, and private, to try to get acres treated in this project boundary.
Much of the WHAM project lies within the state of Montana DNRC's direct fire protection area. That's the part of the landscape where we have primary responsibility to respond to wildfire. We're closely linked to Missoula County and the local fire departments through our County Cooperative Fire Program. We're excited to partner with the Forest Service on WHAM because it combines active forest management with prescribed fire, which will lessen the impact of large fires that will continue to burn in and around Missoula.
Wildfire doesn't stop at ownership lines or jurisdictional lines, so our projects really can't stop those lines either. And Wildfire Adapted Missoula is great because it looks at treatments across different ownerships, different landscapes, and really tries to address fuels challenges and wildfire challenges at the scale which they happen.
We need all these partners working together to go from hundreds of acres a year to thousands of acres a year of treatment. And really, we need to get to that thousands of acres a year in order to really change the forest conditions, and so that we can live with wildfire. We can thrive with wildfire, particularly in our wildland-urban interface and these low-elevation ponderosa pine forests. Historically, these were open forests dominated by large, fire-resistant ponderosa pine and western larch. They burned frequently with low-intensity fires. Now, because of the density of the forest, because of past management, including fire suppression, fires burn in here with more intensity. Moderate to high intensity fires burn here now. So our treatments are aimed at reducing the flame lengths of those fires and reducing the intensity fires so they're easier to control. So how do we do that? We've got a few different treatment methods that we use. One is chainsaws. We take small trees, we cut them down, we pile them and we burn them. The other is mechanized equipment. When trees are too big for chainsaws, we use things like feller bunchers and skidders to remove those trees. And lastly, one of the most important tools we have is prescribed fire to maintain those open forest conditions. These are the forest conditions that we're dealing with. We've got too many small diameter trees. We've got a dense forest that's grown in here that allows a wildfire to go from the ground all the way up these ladder fields into the canopy of a tree. These are the kind of forest conditions that take a low severity ground fire and turn into a dangerous crown fire. In the next 3 to 5 years, you're gonna see smoke from prescribed fires. You're gonna see it from the middle of the valley. You're gonna see it while you're recreating at some of your favorite places. You're also gonna see crews with chainsaws, cutting and piling. You've probably already seen some of these things happening in some of the recreation areas around Missoula. And these are the tools that we'll be using to help us accomplish the goals and objectives of the project.
These low-elevation pine forests in western Montana surround our communities. They're the lands we recreate on, we work on, that we look out from our houses. And keeping these forests healthy and resilient is really important to the safety of our communities and to our Montana way of life.
The work that we do is a thoughtful and detailed public process. We work hard to understand what the needs are from the community so that we can understand and minimize the impacts to natural resources and wildlife. Certainly all these areas are places that everybody loves and appreciates and takes their families and walks their dog, and I think it's really important for us to think about what do the future of these forests look like? What do we want to do in these important places that we really care about? This initiative is really a call to action. We have an opportunity right here, right now, to come together as a community and understand a fire-dependent landscape and really thrive in these places that we love.